All right, we'll start with Scott before we get into today's race result. Mate, back-to-back champion. How does it feel for everyone in here?
Grouse. For me, it's we knew that the Drivers' Championship was done at Sandown, which was good, and this week was going to be about celebrating that. But the Team's Championship was our goal, and to do that in a fashion, we did really well. I feel like we were, today Fabs was second, I was fourth. Obviously Jamie gifted us a double podium yesterday. Overall, really happy with everything and proud of the team. Our motto is effort equals results, and we certainly proved that this year. 20 wins. It's not hard. It's very hard to do, and I'm just proud in this era that there's a lot of consistency within the cars. Cars don't break down. The pit stops are amazing by most crews. We come through with the goods.
This year is the third time you've come to Newcastle, and the first year you had heartbreak on the last lap. Last year you had, the exhilaration, I guess. What was it like this year going around that last lap, knowing it was all yours?
No, it was really cool. It was a lot of, I had time to sort of look around and see what was going on, and there was a lot of fans that were really cheering us on. I said after the drivers' parade, it was probably 95-5. There was some bad fans. There was a couple hanging over the fence telling us all sorts of names. And then there was 95 of them percent of them that were amazing. And it's why you do the sport. You get in the sport because you want to be a race driver, but you want to be popular as well. And today winning the most popular driver award, that was really cool. It's why you do the sport. You come into I don't know. It's hard to put in the words. I just the last lap was so cool, and just to go back to back is just surreal. I'm just, to be honest, speechless.
You've been very measured over the last couple of weeks, but how hard has the last couple of weeks been, knowing what's been going on?
Yeah, it's been hard. It's harder for me because my mum and dad and Carly and my sister, they probably feel the pain more than I do, and that's it's not on. For me, I felt like we did a really good job. I felt like I drove the best I ever have. But you just sometimes you can't win with some people, and you've just got to accept that. And unfortunately, that's how it is in this sport, and you just get used to it. But I just hope next year, all of us can come into the sport with better perspective. I feel like we can be better role models for not only. Banter's great. We all do it, but I think I just hope we can come in with better perspective and better, and be a bit more, have an idea of just being a professional for not only our sport and the younger drivers coming through, but also for drivers, for other sports and athletes around the world. And I think we can really lead for example.
Very well said. And mate, that's a downer, but for yourself, you're going away for your wedding next, and then you're coming back looking for a three-peat. I mean, how big are the next few months for you?
Yeah, I'm shitting myself because wedding's coming up soon and checkbook's going out the window and all that sort of stuff. But I can't wait to marry the girl of my dreams. She's an amazing lady, and puts life into perspective. This racing stuff's really cool, but the off-track stuff's really what matters, and the person you become, off-track, and when you come back to the track is awesome. So, I'm really excited for the next few weeks.
The bloke sitting two down from you went 4 championships in a row between, 2011 to 2014, Jamie was dominant. I mean, you're now 2 in a row. How hard is a three-peat knowing that, what's on the grid next year?
We'll find out. We don't know in regards to aero and stuff what's going to happen. I definitely think today was just, for me, passing wise, and I think for everyone, it was just really hard, and I just hope we come back with a better product for the fans, because at the end of the day, we're an entertainment business, we're an entertainment sport, and not being able to pass is hard. So I think if we can reduce the downforce, come back with, everyone comes back with a car that, is easier to race, it's going to be a better product for us all, and we're going to have a lot happier lives, and not so much frustrations and all that sort of stuff because you can't pass. So, look, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to next year, and it's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Very last question from me. How are you going to celebrate tonight?
I'm going to celebrate. Just plenty of beers. 41 chicken nuggets in the championship trophy. Yeah, it's going to send it.
Right, sounds good.
Sweet.
Jamie, I'll move on to you, mate. Another race win here in Newcastle. For you, how do you rate this year?
It's been a tough year for Red Bull Racing. We tried to push these guys for the team championship this weekend, but it wasn't to be. But for us, hey, it was all over halfway through the season. But we're very proud of the fact that we ground back and finish off the year with a couple of wins.
Scotty was just talking about it there, the passing and the aero testing that's going to go on next. I mean, for you, what are you looking for next year? Now you're on the commission, what are you looking for next year before we get back on the grid?
Yeah, the technical team have done a great job this year at improving the cars and improving the racing, and another big step next year. Controlled damper will be a good thing, and then of course less aero. The numbers that get thrown around at the moment aren't probably as high as what we'd like. I would like to see a little bit more aero ripped off the cars, but you've got to be a bit careful. There's a lot of factors. We've got to make sure you don't do 320k down the straight at Bathurst as well. So you've got to be a bit careful how much drag and aero you take off to make sure it all matches up with engine rules and whatnot. But the technical team are doing a great job.
And on a personal level for you, third this year, is that a pass mark? I mean, where did you want to be at the end of this year?
Top three in the championship again. Take that. Can't. I'm no young spring chicken anymore. Although I feel like I'm driving as well as I ever have. Top three. Couldn't be happier.
All right, sounds good. Congratulations, mate. Fabs, with you back on the podium. I mean, it's been a great weekend all around for you. How are you feeling at the end of this year?
It's always nice to leave Newcastle having a couple of good results. I wouldn't say you don't go away from here not thinking about racing, because being a racing driver, that's all we ever think about is racing. But it'll make Christmas, New Year a little bit easier to go away thinking that we had a reasonable result here this weekend. So proves that I haven't forgotten what to do. We've got good car speed. Podium both days. Come away with the most points for the round. So it's been a good weekend for us.
And Scotty touched on how hard the last couple of weeks have been. Now it's all over for you. How hard have the last couple of weeks been? How you doing?
It makes you stronger, that's for sure. But what's gone on and everything like that, you've got to somewhat put it behind you. We're in control of what we can do in the race car. Everything that happens externally, we have no control of. So you've kind of got to ride the wave. You've got to remember those people that are commenting come here and watch us race cars for a living. So, I think we're in the better position.
And for yourself, how are you going to celebrate? I mean, you played such a big role in the team's championship, sealed it this weekend. You going to have a big one with Scott?
Absolutely. Yes. We came here with a goal, and that was to achieve the team's championship and repay the boys for all their hard work and efforts throughout the year. And, they're the unsung heroes. They're the ones that have put in all the hours away from the racetrack, at the racetrack. When it all goes well, we're the figureheads for the organisation. But, to repay them with the performance we both had this weekend and seal the deal for the team's championships, pretty satisfying.
All right, congratulations to yourself.
And I will be celebrating in the bar with Scotty.
And the rest. Yes, he will.
Sounds good. Slade, for yourself, finishing the year on a high. Bittersweet, how is it for you?
Good.
It's
good result. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Sweet. And, mate, two podiums for you this year. Is that a pass mark? I mean, is that, with the BJR program going to 4 cars next year, is that something that you guys looked at the start of the year as a success, or was there, more, I guess, you wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, there's no sort of super specific goals, but for a midfield battler, a couple of podiums is pretty decent, yeah.
And, mate, for yourself, going away, end of this year, I mean, have you got plans for next year at this point in time?
No, nothing. It won't be at Brad's, so I'm currently unemployed, planning on taking Thursday Brewing, to new heights. We're going to, crack the international scene and just, dominate the beer market pretty much.
Send some our way, we'll sample it tonight.
What's that?
Any danger?
We'll sample it tonight if you send it our way.
Yeah, I think
we need some piss.
There's still a few cartons left. Percat, to his credit, brought a couple of cartons of his stock that I brought down all the boys on the podium. So yeah, it was good to see all the Thursdays there on the podium.
So was that you giving him beers, or
Hey?
was that you giving them?
No,
beers,
it's just
or was
mates
it two-
rates.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, I can't just sort of, it's a small company, so
Any
I
danger
can't
of
just,
sliding one down?
Jamie would know. You can't just give away coffees. and
Commissioner,
car washes
yeah,
and
team
stuff.
owner, yeah.
Yeah.
This got real weird real quick. But Tim, you,
It's reality. That's the reality, really.
mate, for yourself, regardless of what happens next year, after everything you've achieved, I mean, if this is it, you're happy with what you've achieved so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very frustrating, I guess, pre-Bathurst, it's been a very, very frustrating last 12 months. Just in the sense that nothing's really made sense. With the exception of, maybe 1 or 2 weekends. I guess at the start of the year, the Grand Prix, and maybe the one after, where the car was decent. But my engineer Tony, he's done a really, really good job and went through the cars from head to toe after New Zealand. Found something, and then I don't think it's any coincidence that after he's found something and then put it to where it should be to match the other car in the team, and from then on, I'm not just saying it, you can look at the results, that we've been competitive within our team ever since. So yeah, I don't know, it's probably been the hardest period in my career. I thought it's been hard previously when you have 1 or 2 weekends that have been tough and nothing makes sense, but when you have that long run where you look at the data and it's like, well, it just doesn't feel achievable weekend after weekend after weekend, and then all of a sudden it does, and then you get some good results and you can be competitive with your teammate again. So yeah, it's been frustrating, but on the other hand, I have some really, my best memories with BJR. I have a really good relationship with Brad. He's an awesome person, and I think we're both pretty similar people. And I got my first wins with Brad, and there's an awesome team of guys and girls there. And at this stage, next year is a bit. I got a fair idea of what's going to happen, but I'll. I guess when all that's kind of signed off, then I'll be obviously ready to sort of announce what I'm doing.
All right, well, regardless of what it is, congratulations on what you've achieved so far. On that, I will open it up to questions from journos.
Tim, podium in, I guess, your last race with Brad Jones in the Supercars, as far as we know. Is that a boost to what you're doing and your hopes for next year? It's, it's no... I guess it can only help. It's not obviously not a hindrance. If you went out there and made a fool of yourself and shunted and whatever else, then it doesn't look good. But it can only help. But I think a lot of the things that are sort of been done behind the scenes leading up to this weekend, it probably doesn't affect it too much. But like I said, it can only look good and help. Yeah. And is what you're looking at in future, is that limited to supercars, or we know you've done some stuff with GT racing? Is that perhaps a future career path for you?
Yeah, I think so. At this stage, nothing's locked in, but for sure, I've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to do some of that stuff. So it's definitely something that's being considered, and for sure, that's I guess could potentially be on the cards for next year. Yeah.
Jamie, since Bathurst, 5 wins, 5 races, 5 race wins for Red Bull. So what are your thoughts on the back end of the season? And if you had this car from the start of the year, where would the team have been?
I won't go into if my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle, who it's is what it is. But the car was certainly competitive at the end of the year, so we're very, 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 very happy with that.
Jamie, I guess further that, I mean, motorsport sort of built on, like any sport, I guess, built on rivalries. I mean, as far as, like Scott, where does he... He's got to be up there as one of the, strongest rivals you've come up against in your more than a decade in the sport.
We had some cracker battles in 17 and a few last year, but this year we couldn't catch him. He was generally up the road a fair bit. So the battles this year were few and far between, unfortunately. But hopefully we can get back and have some cracker racing again.
And for Fabian, obviously you started 2019 really strong. I guess can you use this to springboard into 2020, hit the ground running?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see why not. We started with a direction that we were following. We deviated from that and paid the price. So I feel like now we've got a good direction of where we need to go, where we're heading, and I think 2020 will be good.
Jamie, 6 races now in Newcastle and 2 wins. It's been a fairly happy hunting ground, and especially on Sundays.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and my first win was a little bit artificial. I was helped out by my teammate a little bit, so certainly want to get a genuine one. So I feel like this is a real genuine one. But 2 out of 6 is not many, but certainly more than 0.
Scott and Fabian, congratulations on the drivers and teams title respectively. Do you have any concern about the shift, the back half of the year heading into 2020? How are you going to tackle that challenge in terms of, I guess, getting back on top with the momentum that Red Bull currently have?
He's giving me that one. I feel like we just
Thanks,
need...
John. Thanks for that.
I feel like we need to, go to the bend and see how we all roll our cars out. I think next year's a little bit of the unknown. There's going to be a few changes which are going to be a fair change, I think, for everybody. Until we drive the cars there, I don't think we'll have any idea of who's going to be good, who's going to be bad. It's going to be a case of suck it and see.
Over the last 3 years, the 2 teams between DJR, Team Penske and Red Bull have been neck and neck, and there's this sort of growing battle and growing rivalry. Do you all feel that, and what's your take on that situation, and is it good for the sport?
I think we just enjoy going racing. You know what I mean?
You race who you need to be race.
What's that?
You race who you need to race.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I think for us, we go out there and try and do the best job we can on every given weekend. You worry about the team's championship, drivers' championship after the Pertec Enduro Cup. See how you stack up. What do you need to do to win, or what, you just evaluate it on the run. So I think for us, that's what we did.
Scott, every championship, and you speak to champions, they all say that everyone feels different. How does this one feel, and what makes it different to last year's?
Euphoria is definitely different. I guess the first one's always pretty cool, pretty lit up. This one, I think it's cool because we got everything. We won Triple Crown, Bathurst, Team Championship, and now drivers. Not only for my effort, but Fabian's, the teams, pit stop's been fantastic. I'm just really proud of it all. So, there's been a lot of talk and all that sort of stuff. But the proudest thing we can be proud of is the people that are behind it, and they're always focused, and it's just on to the next race meeting for us. We don't go, oh, what's this guy saying, or what's he saying, or whatever. It's hard. You're copping all sorts of things, but you just push on, and that's what I guess we can all be proud of, is the teamwork and how we've achieved our results amongst a lot of things.
Scotty, congratulations.
Thanks, Bruce.
Living the dream has been one of your sayings that we've heard quite often. The last month, has the dream dampened a little with all the controversy that's gone on? Do you think you need a break away from this little while to come back refreshed? And when you come back, will the experiences that you've had in the last month or two change your thinking, your attitude, or your character?
It's no. It's I am who I am. You know that full well. I think you go through peaks and troughs throughout any championship year, and when you are winning, you're disappointing people, and people are always gonna, it's just how it goes. For me, I definitely, I'm looking forward to the break, more so because I'm getting married, but more so I'm just excited to come back stronger next year. I think we can really, continue this trend and be right at the front again. But sure, there's going to be other people coming to the front, and especially with the shock change and all that sort of stuff, it's going to be different. But yeah, look, no. It's for me as a person, it's probably made me stronger, I guess. Definitely, like I said, the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks, especially probably this week, it's been one of the hardest of my career, just off track wise. But proud that getting through it and person I've become through it and or tried to stay, and that's the main thing.
Jamie, and congratulations for today, and Scott on the year. Jamie, as the GOAT, when you hear a situation like Tim's, if a driver in a position similar to Tim was to come to you, what advice would you give them?
I'm not sure.
Have fun, mate.
All I know is those blokes that started Bolter Beer are now multi-millionaires. So my advice is go down that track and see if you can outdo those blokes. They just surfed all weekend. So
We might need a bit of help. If we give you a case, you reckon you will come close?
Oh, you throw it in Loca. Let's do it. Let's get it in Loca.
Yeah, I'll definitely promote it for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Commissioner, Timo.
Just a six-pack. Six-pack will be right for me. That's enough for me.
Oh, they're 4-packs.
Yeah, 4-pack. Okay. Yeah, no, I reckon there's probably more money to be made in the alcohol industry than race cars. That's for sure.
All right, we're talking about beer, so go on and enjoy, boys. Congratulations on a great year. Have a good one.
Good.